One of the best parts about Fortnite is that anybody has a chance to win, no matter how old you are.
Nah! Bush camp down with the 10 bomb win!
Or how young you are.
This guy dead.
Oh, dude, you're a psycho.
Anybody can get a victory royale. And to celebrate that, in today's video, we will be talking about the youngest pro Fortnite player of all time.
Hi, my name's VicterV, and I'm the youngest professional Fortnite player in the world.
And along with this title comes a lot of controversy. As many of you know, you must be 13 years old to compete in Epic Games tournaments. So I asked Victer the million-dollar question. Did he earn money in the tournaments before he was allowed to?
To tell you the truth,
Not so fast. You guys will have to stick around to see his answer, because today, with the help of the kid himself and his dad, I will be telling the entire story of Fortnite's youngest pro player, VicterV. Victer was born in Las Vegas, Nevada, and gaming was a huge part of his life starting at a very early age. But instead of starting on a console like many of us did, Victer started gaming on his phone.
You know, I was just like, okay, he's on his phone, he's playing a game. I know he was on his phone all the time, but that could have been, to me, he could have been, you know, on YouTube or whatever. He did play a lot of Roblox. Like that, he was a Roblox fiend.
And as his dad said, Victer was a huge fan of Roblox, and he also played a different app called Pixel Gun 3D. Victer eventually moved on from mobile gaming to console gaming because of his older brother.
me and my brother, we had a PS4. He used to play Overwatch and Fortnite, so I actually played a lot of Overwatch back then. He's also the one who got me into Fortnite, because I always wanted to be better than him.
But aside from being a gamer, Victer also played sports, and specifically, he was a very talented swimmer.
I was heavily into swimming. Back then, I used to be, top 1 in the country.
I would say he was in the top 10 for a couple of events that he swam. Got a lot of medals and stuff like that, and he was just really dedicated to swimming.
For a while, Victer was balancing playing video games and his life as a competitive swimmer, until one day he realized he didn't just want to be a casual gamer, he wanted to be a pro player. But to do that, he would need his very own gaming PC. So he did what any kid his age would do, and asked his parents if he could get one for Christmas.
His older brother was playing Fortnite, and at the time, Victer told me that, you know, he wanted to be the best gamer in the world. And he told me he wanted to be, you know, he liked Fortnite, and his dream was to become the best gamer. So he wanted a PC, and I was, you know, I really didn't know the difference between why you needed a PC or a PS4 or whatever.
Like many parents, Victer's dad didn't know anything about the world of professional gaming, but luckily his brother stepped in and told his dad just how much potential Victer had.
And his brother told me, his older brother, who had been playing longer than him, had said, Dad, you should really check out Victer, because you know, he's already at my level. He's already able to beat me already, and he just started playing, and he's like really, really good. And I was like, oh yeah. But at the time, I still didn't have any appreciation for it. But that's when I first noticed that he was really good through my son, and that's when we decided to get him a PC for Christmas so he can really get serious with it.
So Victer got his gaming PC and immediately set it up. But there was only one problem: anti-cheat. And no, not because Victer wanted to cheat, because when you download Fortnite, you also have to install the easy anti-cheat. And it gives you this suspicious looking pop-up letting you know that it's gonna download it to your computer. And if you're new to gaming on PC like Victer was, it looked like it could be some sort of virus.
I actually didn't play Fortnite when I got my computer for Christmas. I started playing Roblox a lot, because when I tried to download it, the anti-cheat bear, it scared me, because I thought I got a virus, so I didn't play Fortnite until like half a month later or whatever. So I got really good at Roblox Fortnite games, so I already knew what binds I would use and like my sensitivity.
And I guess it makes sense. Victer was a young kid, and who wouldn't want to be careful with their shiny new gaming PC? Eventually, however, Victer did get Fortnite up and running and immediately jumped into the world of competitive. He played in his first ever Contender Cup, and unfortunately, things didn't go to plan.
I used to watch a lot of big streamers like Benji Fishy and Mongrel, and I saw they're always making money from Fortnite, so I thought I was good as them like back then, so I thought I could just jump in a Contender Cup and get first, make like 5,000, and I thought I could just get rich by like within a year of playing probably, but I think I got dead last the first tournament I played. It was very humbling.
To be more specific, Victer ended up in 4,904th place, which certainly isn't very good, but instead of giving up, he realized that this was just a learning moment and he could take a lot away from it.
Like back then, I thought since I would like 10-0 every one of my friends. I thought my friends was like just like the average player, but I probably was like the average player back then, or even like worse.
Victer kept grinding at Fortnite, playing in every event under the Compete tab for months. He would wake up every day, hours before school, just to hop on his PC and train.
When he first started his Fortnite career, he was going to regular school, he would get up in the morning at about like 5 o'clock in the morning, and he would actually crank 90s and get into PG and just, to start, building and doing a whole bunch of stuff before school.
Little did Victer know, on one fateful day, he would finally make his first earnings in a solo cash cup.
I think I won the first game. I dropped the 20 bomb like the second game. By the last hour, I like realized like, wow, I was like in the top 15. I was like, this could be it. Like I could finally make money. Top 3,000 FNCS, top 5,000 Duo Cash Cup. So I was like a breakthrough, like from top 2,000 to top 5. It was crazy.
Victer placed 5th on the NA West Solo Cash Cup, earning him $250. And as Victer said, this was a crazy placement for some kid just starting out. However, when you consider all the hours of hard work that Victer was putting in, it all really makes sense.
I mean, like, to be honest, I really feel like anybody who puts in the kind of work that I seen him putting it in, like I told you, he was getting up, early in the morning before school to practice. I knew it was inevitable.
But just because Victer got his first earnings didn't mean that things were going to be easy. He still had a long way to go before his first FNCS placement. But with hard work and dedication, anything is possible. And Victer showed that, as he ended up getting his first FNCS qualification during Chapter 3, Season 1. Obviously, competing on that level is challenging enough, but on top of that, VicterV and Blizzard, his duo, would have to deal with some cyberbullying for dropping at the same spot as veteran players Epic Whale and Arkram. For those of you that don't remember this, Victer and his duo Blizzard had been dropping at the same spot the entire season. It was the only spot they knew, and it was the spot that got them qualified for the FNCS. However, Epic Whale and Arkram were also dropping at the same spot, and those two guys were not so happy about it. They started accusing the young player of griefing them and also competing underage. Arkram and Epic Whale decided that they were going to try and report VicterV for being underage, even though they had no proof of this at all.
They're so dumb. Like, we can literally report them. Their kid's literally 9 years old. He's literally underage. He literally cannot play this game. Like, if we report him, they're literally just gone.
And that clip barely showed the worst of what was being said to these two young kids. This was obviously really hard on VicterV and Blizzard, who were just happy to be competing at such a high level with players that they'd looked up to for so long. And most players their age would have just given up their drop spot. But instead of backing down and giving up their drop spot that they planned for all season, Victer and his duo decided to stand strong in the face of adversity with a little bit of help from Victer's dad.
I mean, the scene was going crazy, just trying to get us to leave the spot. And I just told my son to stand firm. And because for him, it wasn't about the grief. It was about he picked a spot. This is what they prepared for. Again, this is where the parents have to get involved, because Victer would have left as well. His partner didn't want to stay there as well. I was in contact with his partner, Blizzard's father at the time, and we had the same mindset. So, we both got behind our children, and we told them, this is not how we do things. We stick it out.
And since Victer and Blizzard wouldn't budge, Arkram and Epic Whale decided to change their drop spot mid-grands so that they were no longer contesting Victer.
He thought it was more likely that Victer and Blizzard were going to be the team that pushed away, right? But sure enough, it was Arkram and Epic Whale that had to make the tough decision to change spots. And it is a tough decision, to say the least.
Victer and his duo ended up placing 44th on NA West. And although this wasn't the placement they were looking for, you have to remember this was their first ever grand finals. But just because finals were over doesn't mean that the hate went away. VicterV's dad even went onto Fact City's stream to confront the haters that were talking to his son.
Okay, what'd he say?
Shit's a joke. Victer was up and Blizzard was farming. No IQ, shit coach. We pissed on him so fast. LOL.
All right, tell him you gotta do it 2 more times. That's it. We gonna keep coming. I just look. I'm glad you saved your streams, right? All your streams are saved, right?
Yeah. I said.
Okay, great. Because we're gonna come back to this when the tides turn, and I'm just gonna clip all this stuff right here that he quote unquote is saying. And all I want you to do is, if the tides do turn, I want you to give us the credit. That's all I want you to do. But I already know what my team gonna do.
And I think it's safe to say that the tides have turned, because now Arkham is retired and VicterV is still going strong. Luckily, after Chapter 3 Season 1, the hate seemed to have died down. Just like most other online situations, other drama popped up and people focused on something else, which meant that Victer could finally start to focus on Chapter 3 Season 2. But before I tell you about that, I need to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Raycon. Whether you're gaming, listening to music, or watching a TimmyFNBR video, you want your audio quality to be perfect. And more importantly, you want to be able to hear what you're listening to and nothing else. But not all earbuds on the market come with active noise cancellation. Raycon just upgraded their everyday earbuds to include active noise cancellation and so much more. And if you're like me and have a bunch of devices, this next feature is for you. You can now connect to multiple devices at once, which means that you can switch between your phone, your console, your PC, or anything else with ease. On top of that, these earbuds are easily the most comfortable that I've ever used, and they stay in your ears without any trouble. No matter how much you rage while losing your Fortnite matches, these earbuds are not falling out. And if that wasn't enough for you guys, these earbuds are more affordable than any of the big audio brands. So if you want to upgrade your setup to include Raycon's everyday earbud, click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/TimmyFNBR to get 30% off your purchase and free shipping. Now let's get back to the video. However, there was only one problem. Victer's duo Blizzard didn't want to practice as much as Victer did, so they made the hard decision to part ways after competing together in FNCS just last season.
Victer was practicing really hard in between the seasons, and Blizzard, he kind of didn't really want to practice, and he wasn't showing up for scrims, he wasn't showing up for anything, and he always had an excuse. So I gave him a bunch of chances, and then finally I said, look, Vic, I mean, I don't care how good he is, if he's not matching you as far as the dedication and time you're putting into it, you owe it to yourself to get with somebody that is. You can't be with somebody that doesn't match you like that or isn't trying. So because of that, because at the time Blizzard didn't want to grind out during the off season, we chose to part ways.
And this ended up turning out to be a good decision for Victer, because him and his new duo not only qualified for grand finals that next season, but they also placed 30th, which was 14 spots higher than the season before. Unfortunately, after that huge improvement, the duo wouldn't last very long. They split the following season after Victer was unable to qualify for grand finals in the Chapter 3 Season 3. And unfortunately, instead of having an FNCS in Chapter 3 Season 4, Fortnite would hold its first LAN event since the World Cup. But unfortunately for newer young players like Victer, this event was invite only. There weren't qualifiers, so just hand-picked pros that Epic Games knew about would compete in this tournament. And that meant that Victer wouldn't be able to compete in another official FNCS tournament until next year. However, instead of taking a long winter break between the 2022 and 2023 seasons, Victer kept grinding Fortnite every single day. He played every Cash Cup looking for a new permanent duo, and he even played a few cups with one of the GOATs on West, Batman Booga. But none of the duos that he tried out would really stick. However, VicterV's old duo Blizzard started scrimming more and coming back to the Fortnite improve. So the two decided to team up again for old time's sake. And it was great that Victer gave Blizzard a second chance, because the duo would end up qualifying for the first major grands of that year. Unfortunately, however, the duo only placed 48th, but it was a good start to the year considering Victer hadn't qualified for the last grand finals. And just as things were looking up for Victer, Fortnite was about to make a change that would shock the entire competitive Fortnite community. On March 10th, just a few days after Major 1, Epic announced that it would be combining the NA East and NA West servers together to make a super region on NA Central. This meant that basically every pro player had to move to Texas if they wanted 0 ping. While this change might not seem like a huge deal to casual players, going from 0 ping or 10 or 15 ping all the way up to 40 ping was a death sentence for many pros. Not to mention, if you lived in Canada, you would have to play on 80 ping or higher. And it turns out that would be the least of Victer's worries, because on top of the higher ping, the NA West competitors now had to worry about a whole region of NA East players that they never regularly had to play with. It was a total mess, and it impacted literally everyone, including Victer.
Yeah, it was definitely different because like good West pros like Arkham or Backman Booga couldn't just get one free spot in con like they used to do on West. It was definitely very difficult playing against like all the people who were like 20 or 30 or 0. So it was just like a huge difference, and it just showed me how like much better I need to get to like be able to compete in these new lobbies.
On top of that, after Major 1, Victer was planning to duo with B-Dog. And B-Dog, although he was a great player, was from Canada, which made ping so much worse. Because of the region change, the rest of the 2023 season was hard on everyone, and unfortunately, Victer wasn't able to qualify for any of the FNCSs that year. However, after not making it to Globals, Victer continued to work hard and try to adapt to his new competitors' playstyles and his higher ping so he could become bigger and better and come back and qualify in the 2024 season.
I always preach a champion's mindset, which is champions always find a way to win, and we don't have excuses. So you just identify what the weakness is, and you just develop a way to play around that weakness.
And all of this hard work would pay off in Major 2 of 2024 when Victer and B-Dog qualified for the Grand Finals and placed 40th on NA Central, winning $1,000. But yet again, there was another problem in the way of VicterV. B-Dog, his duo, wasn't able to play the next FNCS because he had travel plans with his family. Once again, Victer had to look for a new duo, and luckily a longtime pro also happened to be looking for a new teammate.
After me and B-Dog made grands, he had to actually go to Japan for like FNCS during the FNCS week, so I had to look for a duo. And then I think Paper, after he just split with Muzz after getting like 16th, I think, he was also looking for a duo. But everyone else, like all the good established pros, already like stuck with their teammates, so he just had to take a chance on a underrated player, and everyone said that I was the best option.
That's right, one of Fortnite's best players, Paper, wanted to duo with the young VicterV. And Paper had played with some of the biggest names in Fortnite, like Day, Acorn, and even Ninja. So this was a huge deal for someone like Victer. But when you team up with any big name, you're gonna get some unwanted attention. And a lot of Paper's fans were very skeptical that VicterV was the best choice in teammate.
I wanted to prove everyone wrong, because every day when we would grind scrims, it's always, how do you go from VicterV to Muzz, or like VicterV is not even good, why are you playing with him? So I had to grind extra hard that season to just prove everyone wrong. I didn't really feel like it was kind of easy, because I feel like the pressure is more on like other people, because I wasn't expected to do good,
So all that Victer could do was play his best. And going into Major 3 on July 28th of 2024, he did just that. This unlikely duo did better than anyone ever expected. They even snagged a huge 8 elimination win on day 1.
It's Ritual. They're going to be the ones still holding strong on the low ground. Paper and VicterV, on the other hand, they have all the advantages here on height.
Yeah, but they're out of mats now, have to come down here. The hand cannon was a miss, but the tag was beautiful from Paper, and VicterV does so much damage in the end that the Storm will close it out for him and do the rest there. And that's gonna be an 8 elimination game, an 8 elimination win for VicterV in Paper there.
With this incredible win, the duo ended day 1 in 7th place. They started out day 2 very strong as well, working their way up to 5th place on the leaderboard by game 9.
We gotta highlight VicterV and Paper. Come on, it's our favorite, the most wholesome man on this lobby right now. VicterV and Paper looking to hold it down right now in your top 5. And if they just hold on, if they just keep up that consistency, we will see them at the Global Championships. And then I can high-five VicterV.
I am very openly a Paper and VicterV fan.
However, since they were doing so well, other players tried to come in and interrupt Victer and Paper's loot paths and try and grief them out of getting more points. But Victer didn't let that get to his head.
No pressure. I was just, okay, so if they're going to camp us that way, we just won't do that anymore. You know, anytime like they try to do something else, we just fix it in the next game, and just we learned a lot from our mistakes. I think that what makes us a pretty good team as well.
Victer and Paper, although having to deal with griefers, still ended up placing 9th in NA Central. This was Victor's highest Grands placement ever, and with the win, he got to take home a whopping $8,000, basically doubling his previous earnings in one tournament. But at the end of the day, the money wasn't what was exciting for Victer. Instead, he was hyped that he earned himself a ticket to the FNCS Global Championship LAN at the end of that year. The FNCS Global Championships 2024 were held through September 7th and 8th, right in the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. The event was split over 2 days, with 6 games on day 1 and 6 games on day 2. This meant they would play a total of 12 matches for the $2 million prize pool. The first place winners would get to take home a whopping $400,000. However, nerves were high as this was the first LAN that Victer ever qualified for, so this was huge for both Victer and also nerve-wracking for his dad, who had coached him all of these years.
For me, I mean, like, again, like, I train fighters, so with my fighters, I'm used to my fighters being on that status where, you know, they have people that want their autograph and people see them on TV or whatever. So for me to see my son in that position, it's like, it was just a beautiful feeling. It was just like, it was surreal for me, for real. Coming from the epic Will Arkham era where, you know, people telling him to kill yourself in game. I know he's going to be able to take this experience and do something great with it in life, God willing. You know, he has now at this point, he can actually say, well, you know what? When I put the time in and I put the hard work in, I can get the results.
So in the beginning of September, Victer and his dad made their way to Dallas.
Rain on the day we leaving to Las Vegas. How odd is that? Maybe that means the sun.
And on September 7th, after just a few days of practice, VicterV and Paper were together on a global stage.
Let's welcome Paper and VicterV! Winning the region's Hearts in Major 3 and making it all the way to the biggest stage of the world is not a simple feat, and now it's showtime!
And once again, this duo performed insanely well. They ended up finishing 12th after day 1, despite dying off spawn game number 6 due to a glitch in the game. And unfortunately, day 2 didn't exactly go to plan. The dynamic duo dropped down to 21st place after a few unlucky matches, and this was hugely disappointing considering they had been doing so consistently well on day 1. And while this was a disappointing ending to a great year, Victer still has huge hopes for the 2025 season, and I think with the amount of work that this kid puts in, he's gonna come back stronger than ever before.
I feel like I have to redeem myself from getting 21st, because I expected a lot better here. 7th going into the last game on day 1, and we made a lot of mistakes day 2 to get us 21st, but it just made me realize I gotta grind a lot harder than I normally do, and it just gives me a lot more motivation knowing that I could do it. So
And FNCS is going to be crazy next year, with Siphon coming back, switching to trios, and also splitting NA Central into 2 regions and bringing back NA West. There are so many unanswered questions. But with a player like Victer, I know that he'll be okay. And I know that I have a lot of young aspiring pro players in my audience, so I asked Victer for some advice to tell you guys how he made it to where he is today.
Just gotta keep on grinding, you know, just I worked on what I was the worst at. You know, if I was bad at 90, I'd sit in the creative for like an hour just working on my 90s every day until I perfected it. And that's what I'm still doing to this day now. I think it helped me a lot to get where I'm at.
As Victer said, it just boils down to hard work and dedication. And for the parents who are watching with their kids or who are watching on their own, Pop V had some words of advice for you guys as well.
I mean, well, my motto for all the kids is pretty much just always give it 100% of your effort. And as long as you give it 100% effort, then the results don't matter. And then for the parents, you know, just support your kids. You know, I mean, you never know what's going to make them money or what's going to blow up. But as long as you support them and teach them through whatever it is that they love, and you teach them the principles of life through the things that they love, number one, it'll be more beneficial to them, and it'll help them. It'll help your relationship with them as well, and you never know what can happen.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Shout out to Victer and his dad. They were absolutely amazing to talk to. All of their social media links are going to be in the description below, so please do go and check them out. Make sure to subscribe here on my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.